Okay, we are live, but I'm gonna give it a while, see who pops in, give it a little time, just real quick. I guess I'll update you so we have something to talk about while we wait for people to join if they can join, because this is kind of on the spot. But I wanted to make a video, but I didn't feel like editing it and adding stuff to it and all that. So here we are. Here we are. So the one thing I'll do while we wait, see if anybody else can join us or jump in, is I'll update you personally. Just working with the new work schedule and trying to get used to that and trying to find a good video schedule, but also book writing schedule as well as everything else. I'm just juggling everything in life right now. So the channel is slow. I apologize. We will, if you're a long time watcher of this channel, you know it ebbs and flows, and we'll get into it. But I did want to do a live version to see how it works with Jedi versus Society, and maybe it might be a new format that we do because we can discuss it more live. Like if you have questions about the topic or what we're talking about, then you can do it. All right. All right. So it's been it's been a minute, a little over a minute. Maybe people will trickle in. We'll see what happens. But this episode of Jedi versus Society is Jedi versus Misanthropy. Misanthropy? Am I saying that right? Let me see if I'm saying that right. Let's see.
Misanthropy.
Misanthropy. There we go. And that, if you're not sure of it and you don't want to look it up, is basically the dislike or the disdain of humanity. Or I have it right here so I can read it. Hatred, dislike, or distrust of humankind. Which, if you have existed in this world, then you probably experienced that at some time. And can you be a Jedi and deal with that? Or what is Jedi's philosophy in regards to feeling that? And so let's jump into it. I actually have some quotes here. Let me try something actually real quick. I'm gonna share this screen. Let me see. It's easiest with two monitors. Hang on, I'm reading, seeing if this works. Okay, we're gonna share screen here. Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? And this is probably an example of that.
I said,
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out of here.
no, Mr. Stay. Mr. Conchata Binks. Mr. Your humble servant.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, but it is.
Okay, there's that. And then let's see, I'm going to pull up something else here. And then we'll do this one. I don't know how the recording is.
I'm going back. I'm unfinished business. I won't be long.
Why do I sense we picked up another pathetic life form?
There we go. All right, there's two things. And let's see if I can end the screen sharing. Or did I do it at all? I don't even know if I did it at all. I'm not able to see the screen. Show. Yeah, I did not get it. All right. Well, there was two scenes there, and I messed that one up. Still learning this technology here. And it was just it's episode 1, so you have Qui-Gon Jinn when he meets Jar Jar Binks for the first time, and of course the famous line, the ability to speak does not make you intelligent. And then of course Obi-Wan's quip later on where he says, why do I sense we've picked up another pathetic life form? These are obviously not very encouraging or nice things to say about living creatures, sentient beings. And so the idea that Jedi absolutely must be this all caring, all compassionate, all embracing paragon of life is clearly something that's, excuse me, challenged within the fiction. It's something that's challenged within the fiction. So I don't feel it's mandatory that you can feel misanthropy and still be a Jedi, to answer that very first question. That's something you can do, that's something you can experience. And it's just a matter of working through it. Now, I do have some quotes here. I'm going to read those because they're just quotes, anyways. And the first one's from Obi-Wan Kenobi, Rogue Planet, the book Rogue Planet by Greg Bear, I do believe. And it says, lean upon pain like a crutch, and you create anger and a dark fear of truth. Pain guides, but it does not support. And the reason I chose this quote is because if you have a distrust and if you have a dislike of humanity, there's might be fair reasons why you feel that way. Excuse me. Events in your past and things of that nature that help inform that kind of outlook. But if you lean on that, if you give into that, if you continually embrace that ideal, it can cloud the truth of it. It can cloud your vision in seeing things that are necessary to be a Jedi, to see the good, to see hope, to see light, things of that nature, to see that there's people out there doing good things. It's kind of goes back to the quote of your focus determines your reality, and what you're choosing to look at, what you're choosing to focus on. So you can absolutely feel that way. I feel that way a lot, especially with current events. We are dealing as a society, on the world as a whole, we are dealing with the bombardment of constant 24/7 news and media and information from all over the globe, all hitting us simultaneously. And news sources for a very, very, very long time have discovered that what sells most is shock and fear and those kind of train wreck esque articles and news. That's what people push more of because of ratings, because of pay. It's all driven by money, right? And clicks and everything. So that clickbait kind of titles and all of that. So you can get inundated. You could just get bombarded with all this negative information and all this stuff. And it can really make you not like and not appreciate humanity and the world that you are currently inhabiting. And that's a real struggle for people, myself included. As I said, especially with current events and the things you read about, and this desire, this understanding, because at the very same time we're bombarded with all of this negative stuff, we are reaching an understanding within it doesn't matter if you consider yourself a Jedi or whatever. It doesn't matter what label you put yourself on, but especially the younger generation and people of my generation, everybody's kind of realizing we have this power to change things, and we have been failing at that for years as a species. That we can be better. We could be so much better. We could do some really great things in this world collectively as well as individually. And that's why paths like Jediism and like the Jedi path do take off. And that's why spiritual paths are taking off, and they're very popular, especially online, because there's this essence of this idea that we can be better, we can do better, we can uplift each other. We are all connected, and we see the struggles that other people are having and we might be able to relate to, or we're seeing the struggles. We're seeing that, right? We're bombarded, right, with all those articles. And so we see the struggles of others that we can't relate to, but we know that they're happening, and we know that there is a way to change that we can affect change. So there's this real pull to be a Jedi and to affect positive change. But again, if you lean on that crutch, and if you can drown in that darkness, you can drown in that pain if you're not careful. So I feel like that quote is pretty important to understanding that being a Jedi is about working through that and working with it. And that's how we're going to battle it. That's how we're going to battle it. I'm about to move on, but I see good vibes. Absolutely. So the next quote is from Josh Vandar from the MedStar Battle Surgeons, MedStar 1 book, Battle Surgeons. Michael Reeves? Oof, I forget the author's name. Anyways, the quote is, "Life is too short to waste on things that aren't important, too short to waste on anything that doesn't in some way enrich you or your loved ones." And this is this applies to our Jedi philosophy. This applies to our Jedi path. That, again, it comes back to your focus determines your reality. Where are you going to put your energy into? Where are you going to invest yourself into? What are the things that you feel are important? And so as Jedi, what we seek to do is understand, like, we have limited time here and we have limited resources. You have limited energy. You have limited financial things. Everything's kind of limited. Your time's limited. So it's a question of where are you going to put things towards and how best can you help. And sometimes as a Jedi, if you get weighed down by humanity and it's just being awful to each other and not realizing like these glass walls that we put up, these segregations that we try to use to divide us are just a waste of time, and they're not helpful. They don't do anything to help us. That the idea of supremacy and all that stuff is garbage, right? So we we want to put things we want to put our effort towards things that we can affect change, but you also have to understand that sometimes that means focusing on yourself and your own practice and the people in your life, and build you want your sphere of responsibility to start small, start within as a Jedi, okay? You want to start within and then expand outward. That is how you want to handle the Jedi path. Start within, expand outward. Don't try to Jedi want to change the world. Jedi want to do good. They want to change their society. They want to do good things. Give it time and understand you can't do it alone, right? Like I see we got a couple more things. I'll get to that in a second. But here's a quote that goes along with that. No Jedi was perfect. All had flaws against which they struggled every day. It was part of Mace's particular greatness that he could freely acknowledge his weaknesses and was not afraid to ask for help in dealing with them. And that's from Shatterpoint, the novel Shatterpoint, which is a great novel. I highly recommend it, especially for Jedi and dealing with everyday, like boots on the ground kind of stuff, like dealing with the muck. I highly recommend Shatterpoint. It deals with Jedi and just that struggle of this topic is great for it. Misanthropy is a great one, dealing with and navigating through humanity and things of that nature. But no one's perfect, and you do need help, and you are going to need help in dealing with this. So do not try to shoulder it alone, and do not think you can do that all by yourself. What are your thoughts on versus Jediism, more specifically optimistic? Give me a second. Oh my God, this is so freaking timely. Thank you so much. Absolutely. We'll continue on that. Charlie, I will. Let me get to I'll get to that later on. Hold on. Hang on here. Either I'll get to that later on in this video, depending on how this goes, or I'll just create a whole new video for that particular question. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. There needs to be a blend between your focus determines your reality and the idea that people as a collective is stupid, but a person alone may be smart and worthwhile. One of my favorite quotes, of course, comes from Men in Black, the original one with Will Smith, where it talks about how a person is smart, but people are panicky and dumb, and things of that ideal. And yeah, so let's see. And fantastic about Mace. I'm imperfect and I can ask for help. That's it's an important quote. So the thing with misanthropy is that it absolutely is something that Jedi struggle with, and the way that we kind of move forward is understanding that we have limited resources, and we have to focus within our own circle first and kind of grow outward, and understanding that we can't do anything alone. Like, we can't dismantle systemic racism, on your own. Like, no one person is going to do that. There is no magic way to do that. That is a long, hard fight that there is no end in sight on that. Like, so that kind of thing where you can feel heavy, you can look at the world and see the negativity and see things that just make you not like humanity, not like people. But then, as a Jedi, you're like, but I want to change things. I want to make it better, because we know we can be. We know that we are these luminous beings, right? That we are these creatures that have the ability to affect change on a grand scale. And so we want to do that. We want to see other people succeed. We want to see ourselves succeed. We don't want all this struggle and all this strife and everything that we witness in life and we have to deal with on a daily basis. That's tiring, and that takes away from our resources. But again, we understand, we know as Jedi, we know like our path. And again, like I use Jedi because that's this channel, but I mean, really all labels out there I think are kind of gravitating towards this very same conclusion that we have this ability to affect change and that we're capable of it, and we should be doing better, and we can be doing better, and we need to keep pushing for that. Also, systemic speciesism, also correct. Understanding that life takes many forms, and we need to be protective of that. It's the idea of Jedi, right? That we, if you have the ability, if you have powers, if you're in a higher position to help out, then that means you need to help out more. You need to defend those in need. You need to be a voice for the voiceless, right? Those are all parts of our path. So another quote here also comes from Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars book, The Approaching Storm. And he says, no Jedi would be a true devotee who didn't question the system along with everything else. Part of being a Jedi is not blind faith. It's not blind acceptance. It's you have to question things, you have to get into it. You have to dig into the concept of what are we living, what system are we living in, what are we doing, what's a better way forward, what's a better way of life, how can we affect that change, how can we motivate that change to happen, and how is that in line. And it's important for Jedi that we hold to the Jedi method. Jedi intention plus Jedi action equals Jedi outcome. And it's important that we hold on to that formula and keep our actions and intentions in line with the Jedi path while we deal with these real struggles, such as misanthropy, and I keep messing up saying that, but such as dealing with these kind of issues, So that's an important one. And the last quote I'll throw out there is from Dark Rival, which is Jedi Apprentice #2 by Jude Watson. It comes from Qui-Gon Jinn. It says, light can always battle dark. And it's important to understand that as a Jedi, or again, any label that you so choose, that you have the ability and you do have the power, and luminous beings, right? Luminous beings are we, that you are capable of addressing. You are capable of battling the system. You are capable of handling your struggles. You are capable, and it won't always feel that way. It'll feel big. It'll feel beyond you. But again, you aren't alone, and it's important to ask for help when you feel you need it. But as a Jedi, that's all in line with our path, and that's all in line with our inspiration, and it's all in line with our actual philosophy that passes the AP/BP test, right? And we look at these things, and these pass the AP/BP test. These are parts of the reasons why I chose these quotes, is because they do actually apply to, who we are and our lives as Jedi, and can help us fight these things that sometimes just feel like really big nebulous problems that are never going to go away. And while maybe they don't, humanity is humanity. Humanity has its flaws. Humanity has its issues, but we are seeing and we're understanding that we can be better. Each generation is kind of coming up, and if all it takes really is to stop pushing it to the next generation, and for all of us to collectively kind of agree that we can be better and we can start doing it now. We don't have to wait for the next generation to fix our problems or the problems of previous generations, that we can all collectively work together and affect that change now, which is easier said than done. But again, it's part of our path, and it's a part of what we do. All right. So hopefully that answers the question, and that was brought up for us. So hopefully that addresses the issue, and hopefully that addresses that Jediverse society topic. And of course, as always, in the comments below, you can leave. Hopefully there's comments below, but however, you can reach out and leave, even on other videos, older videos. You can do that. I'll see the comments. But you can leave topics of discussion, Jediverse society. If you have a question on a topic of how Jedi deal with a specific thing that we are dealing with in society, you can do that, and we can address that. All right, so this one's gone on for about 20 minutes, and that's okay, right? So that, I feel that addresses it. If you have any questions related to this video and this topic, feel free to throw them in the chat right now, and we'll address those as they arise. While I wait for you to ask any questions that you may have in regards to, and let's see if this works, to Misanthropy, then we could do that. So if you have any questions, yeah. But yeah, I got my first shot of the COVID vaccine today. I got my first vaccine shot. I was planning on doing videos today, but that was really in the middle of the day, so it kind of disrupted my schedule. I'm really finicky about my schedule and when I plan to do things. Again, hence why the channel's been a little quiet, because it's been dealing with a lot of things that have been disrupting my schedule, and that messes with my production time. Plus, still trying to do things, working on a book that I think you guys will really enjoy once I get it out. It does include a good number of Jedi quotes that we use here on this channel that I like to bring up. And if you follow us on Facebook, even though it's mostly memes that we post on Facebook, I do every once in a while put out Jedi quotes that go along, that can, food for thought and things of that nature. So do we have any questions in regards to Misanthropy? It does not look that way. I'm going to do this, so we might get to this question here from Charlie. Oh, let's see what we got. Unfortunately, missed the beginning, but nice hoodie. Thank you very much. My girlfriend got it for me, and she's a lovely person, and she got me this, and I love this hoodie as well. So, yep, it's a good one. I like it. It's my Jedi hoodie, and I figured I should be a little bit Jedi if I was gonna do this. Definitely no bow tie on this one. Okay, so I think it doesn't seem like we have any questions in relating to that, so I hope that helped. I hope that answered. If not, you can, or if you have other questions later on, you can always leave those in the comments below. Get to them when I get to them. All good. So we can go back to this one if people want. We can hang out for a little bit more. So we'll say that's done. So if that's what you were watching the video for, 20 minutes, boom, done. Okay. So what are your thoughts on this? Okay. So within Jedi, it's completely optional. It's completely personal. Jedi are allowed to kind of view the world, like within Jediism or Jedi philosophy or Jedi path, however you want to view it. You're allowed to view the world in existence however kind of comes to you. So with Jedi, what we would push, or what I would push, is like get your reflections on, get your personal meditation on, like personally, like dig into it, using knowledge, the Force, that kind of thing, right? Self-awareness, awareness of your environment. Use all these. You look at the Jedi Circle. You use all those tools. You use all those things to kind of examine the world and the universe around you, and develop your own personal viewpoint on what is existence about. What is my own personal existence about? How does that relate to humanity's existence, right? So, and if you fall here and you fall to this idea that it's all meaningless, but I personally prefer, instead of it, I prefer absurdism in a way. I prefer Albert Camus. His ideas that breaking free is understanding that it's all silly and it's all absurd, and existence is just an absurdity. So you might as well do something with it, right? So do what you do what you love, right? Like do what you feel is important. And it's the same here. Like it doesn't, if you feel it's all meaningless in the end, there's really good reasons for that. There's really good reasons to feel that way when you look at the entirety of the universe. When you think about how long ago dinosaurs lived, if you think the millions of years in between the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Triceratops, like those two creatures were not alive at the same time. And if you just think about like the mind-blowing cosmos of it all, it can feel really pointless. Like this, what do we have? Maybe 100 years, like that. 100 years in billions, like that can feel heavy, that can feel a thing. But the reality is, and I love the memes that are like, hey, if you ever feel this way, just stop and think for a minute that you were born at the same time that Star Wars exists, right? Like you can appreciate the gifts and the opportunities and the things that you have now. And maybe they're meaningless. Maybe it's a simulation. Maybe it's, like it doesn't matter like what philosophical or what kind of spiritual outlook you have on the existence itself. And Jediism itself, like the philosophy, the path, it does not demand you look at existence in a certain way. All we do, or all the path does, or all Jedi philosophy does, is say, regardless of any of that, here's how to best like just kind of flow through it. Here's how we flow through it, and here's how we found that kind of offers the best way to kind of ride this momentary wave of existence, right? So whether it's meaningless or whether it's really powerful, or whether however you want to look at it, doesn't really matter. But the fact is that you have to deal with what you have to deal with now. You have to deal with it. There is no putting your head in the sand and not, like, so however you view it is fine. You could be a Jedi and view it like there's no conflict there. But you do definitely have to still, if you want to be a Jedi, you still have to approach existence from a Jedi standpoint. You still have to, like, peace, knowledge, serenity, harmony, the force, that kind of thing. You still have to use the Jedi method, as we talked about. Jedi intention plus Jedi action equals Jedi outcome. You still have these Jedi tools and these Jedi texts which will guide and flow you through this river that we call existence, no matter how long or short it really is, no matter how big of an impact, no matter if that impact is meaningless or not. Like, none of that really matters in the end, right? It's all absurd. The universe, the cosmos, the absurdity of it all. The more we learn, the more mind blowing it gets, right? Like the more mysteries that still surround the universe, everything. And so yeah, it's just about finding the way that speaks to you to navigate it best. And the Jedi way, it tells us, like, gratitude is, when we look at Jedi Circle, gratitude is a core part of the Jedi Circle. And it's important to remember, hey, you're here and you get to enjoy these little things. I'm looking forward to Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming out. Like, that's something I'm going to enjoy. And that's something that's probably going to make this channel go quiet for a little bit again. But that's something that I enjoy. And that's something that helps me move through existence. It's not a big thing. It's not a helpful thing. I'm not doing anything great with it, right? It's not something that's going to change the world, but it is something that brings me personal joy. And that's important too. Just enjoy, like, find the things that make you smile and appreciate them. It's going to be brief. It's always brief. There's pain, there's struggle, there's laughter, and there's things that we can enjoy even in like the most horrible situations. Humans are really adaptable that way. Humans really have this integral energy, again, like that luminous beings, right? Like that humans just have that something tangible. And I say humans, it really extends to all life. It extends beyond sentient beings, really. Like dogs have that. Like, dog will change your life, like if you meet a dog, could just brighten up your day. Dolphins, like all of that, birds, like it doesn't matter. Like if you see a chubby little raccoon eating a Tootsie Roll or something, that could absolutely brighten your day. So it's all about just finding those little things and kind of working through existence with those little things, and understanding that we do have the power to really affect our own way. That doesn't remove our struggles, that doesn't remove the burdens, it doesn't expand our resources anymore. It's just kind of something that we have to do as individuals, that we have that power. And it can be really difficult. As someone who's and one of the things, again, why this channel's been quiet is I've been dealing with depression as well, and that, along with everything else, makes it challenging. It makes it tough to really um, you know put together the content that I want to, or to make that small impact on my channel. So, but again, we'll get there. You get there. You just kind of keep working. You kind of, even if it's inches, you just kind of keep moving forward, and it doesn't really matter if it's meaningless or not. Like Jedi path doesn't quite mess with any of that. So thank you for the question. I do appreciate it, but yeah, it's there's really not a verses there, because it really doesn't. Even you have Jedi who subscribe to that ideal of existence, but that doesn't stop them from being Jedi, because they feel, well, if it's all pointless anyways, might as well do this. Like, it's all a question of, just because it's pointless, what does that really mean to you, or what does that encourage you to do? And if it's like, why not be kind then? Why not be helpful? Why not be uplifting? If it's all pointless anyways, why not be that thing? It doesn't cost anything to do that, to be kind, like, or to be helpful, or it doesn't, to understand a person's struggle and to be like, I hear your struggle, I hear it, and that sucks. Like, just to have that empathy, it doesn't take anything out of it, and so, yeah. All right, let's see. That's why I like it, even though I may feel like we're all insignificant specks in the cosmos. And absolutely, I would agree with that sentiment, by the way. I want to impact people's lives and my own with positivity. No sense in adding it to pain, right? And that's very much in line with Jedi philosophy, in the sense of balance. George Lucas has talked about it, and it's been brought up within Star Wars fiction and things of that nature. And this idea of balance, the idea that Jedi were part of the balance, that Jedi honored the balance, because they understood that throughout the universe, throughout life, there's death, there's pain, there's some suffering, there is creation of life, and there's death, and there's or decay and entropy and things of that nature. Like, that's already a part of existence, and that's already going to happen. There's already this ebb and flow of light and dark, if you will, right? Of life and death. There's already this ebb and flow. It's something we do see a little bit even in the sequel trilogy. It was briefly touched on and explored just a tiny bit. They really just let that one go, which was disappointing. But that's it, right? Like, so it takes nothing. Like, you don't have to add to the pain. Absolutely. There's no reason to add to the pain. There's no reason to add to someone's suffering. Everybody's got it. Everybody's struggling. Everybody has their own problems. Everybody has their own issues. Everybody has things that they trip up on. Everybody has things that they would like to do more of, or be able to do this thing, and they just do not have the means or the capabilities or something of that nature. It's like, everybody kind of has that. And so, understanding that, we can make that choice. We can make that choice not to add to it, and not to be a part of it, and not to add to any of it, and to try to change it, and try to like minimize it, try to bring people up to the same level, and try to create just a better society, a better world, and a better, even brief little insignificant speck, right? Like, if we can just, that small insignificant speck of our lives, right? That little fire, when you take in the totality of the universe, if we could just make that little tiny grain of sand, like, just a brighter day, just a little bit easier, just a little bit better, that's something powerful. That's something special, because that's going to affect someone on a small level. And yeah, that's not going to, in a billion years, there's nothing to remember that someone gave you a good day, or that you made someone's life a little easier, a little better. That's not going to be recorded in the annals of the universe. And yet it can mean the universe to a person in that moment. And that's powerful. I think that's very powerful, to be able to change for the better a singular moment in this time, because that's all we have anyways. So, all right, any more questions, any more on the topic, or anything like that? I'll open it up to any questions right now, since we already ended the original topic and kind of went through it. Also, speaking of unfortunately missing the beginning, you didn't miss much outside of, I didn't know how to do screen share, and nothing showed up in the beginning of the video as I tried to share a couple clips. So, any other questions? Any other things on Jedi philosophy? Are you good? How's everyone doing? Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. No questions. Or I might be going too fast. Maybe people are taking their time typing. I'm not sure. But yeah. All right. So hopefully I answered again. Yeah. Hopefully I answered the question on the original video. If so, also in the comments below, again, or on another video, however it works, however you feel best reaching out, let me know if you like the live version or if you prefer to keep Jediverse Society as pre-recorded and edited and all that fun stuff. So we could probably get those clips of Star Wars in better, and maybe a better way to do the quotes or whatever. Or when I had the board dealing with things, let me know which one you prefer. And again, if you have any topics for Jediverse Society, if you have any questions on how Jedi handles specific things within this world, let me know and I'll add that to the list. I still got a few to get to. My favorite topics that someone asked for I still haven't addressed, and those are kind of dealing with capitalistic nature of society that we live in, and that's something I kind of really want to talk about in relation to Jedi, because there are some actual good points there that intersect about how Jedi from the fiction lived and how we live today, and kind of how we have to navigate that, and why the idea of creating like a small village somewhere and getting away from society and building our own thing is like growing in popularity again, right? People are really looking for it. Tiny homes and stuff like that is really grown because people are looking to get out of this mess, man. So yeah, all right, no questions, no good. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I truly appreciate it. I am always happy to have you here. Thank you for engaging with me and asking questions. Light of the Jedi, Charlie Daisy, Scold Cold, and Raylia. How again? I'll get that. Live is always useful for questions and things that need elaboration. Very true. Which is why I wanted to try it out. So if people wanted to, so as we discuss this topic, if we do this again, if people say they kind of they're all right with this, it can still be both. I can still do the pre-recorded. I imagine it'll be like how I feel or how my schedule works out. Again, going back to what we were talking about in the very beginning, and I rambled on about we can. I want people to be able to ask questions so we could dig into the topic. And I just don't know if people prefer the short 5-minute videos on the topics, or if we want to dig into them for like an hour long, video and asking questions and digging into to those things. So, how have I been? Surviving. Surviving. I've been dealing with depression, but like I was saying in the video, focus determining reality and all that, I do have some great things that have happened in my life recently, and things that including the origins of this sweatshirt, and so those things really make my life good. But that's not quite how depression works, right? Like depression doesn't care about what's going on in your life. It's just chemicals in the brain. But dealing with depression, dealing with some work situations, dealing with my schedule being messed around, dealing with living in a capitalistic world and all that fun stuff in Southern California, of all places, not always the easiest of places. And then, of course, dealing with what the entire world is dealing with, right? On so many things. But yeah, I'm surviving. I'm doing all right. I could complain, I suppose, but whatever. I just got my first COVID shot. I mentioned that earlier in the video. So I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I'm surviving. I'm hoping everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all doing okay. Hope you're all living that Jedi lifestyle and keeping it keeping it up. I missed the majority of the lives, so I'll rewatch, but I do greatly appreciate the lives. But also the short ones rock too. I'll never, like, only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will never stick to one format. Like, I just don't see that happening. I will never stick to a singular format on this channel. I am I like to explore too much. I like to keep things moving. I'm definitely with change and updating and trying new things. So I like trying new things. I like going and I like the short videos. I like editing them. I like how they flow. But at the same time, I do like lives because I do like connecting with all of you. I like connecting with the Jedi. I like being able to answer questions on the spot and dig into topics and really explore them through our fiction and bring that up. So, but that is also the problem with lives. It's not everybody can join, and at the time that they go live, and if you miss it or something like that, and that happens because everybody else has lives too, you know. So it's a give and take. I think we'll probably, we'll jump around. We'll see how it works, and we'll do that. But thank you for the input. I do appreciate it. I really do. It's good to know. You have the look and voice for a great channel. Thank you. Thank you. Folks needs your help to produce more content like this. Stay strong and find your way. Thank you. I appreciate it, Anthony. I do. And I appreciate you being a part of it. Member participation is always like a core part of these things. So yeah, but I appreciate all that. Thank you. But yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're doing good. We're moving along. We're dealing with the struggles of life, but we're being Jedi through it. And even if it's an inch, we're still gonna make it through, and we're still gonna affect change, make that positive impact, even if it's that tiny little grain of nuggets that really doesn't matter in the end. But so what? So what? Who cares? Who cares if it matters or not? You make a difference. You make a difference. You add positivity because there's really just enough pain and suffering in the world and in the universe. Doesn't need it. So, all right. Again, hopefully that answers the question. And yeah, 41 minutes. So I think 42 minutes. So I think we'll leave it there. Thank you again for everybody who's watching, for the silent ones out there. Thank you for everybody who watches this later. I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who actually took part in all the comments and everything like that, and helped keep this video moving along. Not just me staring at an empty screen trying to make up things to say. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's do a random Jedi quote to end this. All right. Let's see. We're just gonna do. Here we go. No, that's not a good one. No, I don't want to do that one. That's Shatterpoint. We already did Shatterpoint. We don't need to do Shatterpoint again. Our expectation of ourselves always exceeds the reality. Don't let your expectations of yourself exceed your reality. Try to come back down to reality, Jedi. Try to be aware. That's part of awareness of the Jedi Circle. It's one of the 5 practices. You want to bring your awareness to yourself. A little self-honesty, also part of the Jedi Circle. Be honest with yourself. Understand your limitations. To quote Dirty Harry, a man has got to know his limitations. So, Jedi, know your limitations. Understand how big your circle of influence really is. Understand what your sphere of responsibility is. And just work within that. Just work within that. All right. That's all good. Let's see. Be well. Keep going. We'll keep watching and sharing. Appreciate it. I do. Thank you very much. And missed the first half, but enjoyed what I was here for. I'm glad to hear that too. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us for What You Good. I do appreciate that. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Absolutely. Can be some good old Kenny Rogers. So absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I do appreciate it. May the force be with you.